It's springtime in St. Ignace, and we'll explore the Straits area looking for some early season lake trout. We've got the hottest baits,
Dreamweaver Super Slim, yes.
plus tips and tricks on how to locate these lakers,
You're looking for ledges and edges. You're looking for deep drop-offs.
and how to keep them on the line once you do.
For it, John knows I got a hook file in my pocket.
Yep.
Barely hooked. Look at that fish, just by the skin of that lip right there.
Yeah.
So sharpen up those hooks because the Lakers are chowing down on this edition of Fisherman's Digest.
Hey, good morning, everybody. John Bergsman here from Fisherman's Digest out of St. Ignace, Michigan, showing you an awesome day in the middle of May right here with the Huberts. And we've got a blue dolphin fish. You pulled a fast one on me, Steve-O. He said, I think I'm gonna throw a blue dolphin, show that off to him. Dreamweaver Super Slim, yes. But he thought, well, maybe just a little different color, and we'll see if we can't screw him up. And guess what? It worked.
First fish.
First fish. Beautiful job. Might have to throw another darker color out. Beautiful little, perfect eating size lake trout. Ice cold. Water temperature on the fish hawks, 39 degrees. So that shows you, look at that beautiful clean water here in Northern Lake Huron. And yes, it is cold. Woo! First fish of the day. A lot more to come here out of St. Ignace.
Depends on what this guy does, you know. Definitely don't let him get in front of us. There's another fish.
There we go.
My inside board.
We'll just do our,
Just don't let him. There, we got another one.
another
That
one
double.
doubles.
That 50's going right now.
That 50 is going too. Both of these feel like good fish. This one's definitely a good fish. I hope I don't screw this one.
Hey, right by the fish marker.
Right, that's why I said, Richard, look where we're at.
Yeah, check it. Change it if it's a blue. I mean, obviously,
Orange is working.
they chose the other two over that one.
I'm back in the drag off already. I'm a little timid after that last one. Yeah, you got a fish.
Yeah, it looks like a walleye.
It's a walleye.
I don't know. It's fighting like a stupid walleye.
Wow, this thing is taking drag. There you go, Richard. Good job. That's a
Good job.
Hold that one up because that's one of those Mackinac ones.
Steely Dan. Nice orange. Colored up Laker.
Anybody who's wondering why I'm keeping the rod tip down, it's because these fish have been spitting this hook and I'm keeping this fish's mouth buried in the water. And I'm not gonna change it until I have to. You ready, Richard? Yeah, that's a good fish.
Two fish on that exact rod.
That's a really good fish.
It's a chunky one.
Sure is. Sorry, guys. He's barely hooked and I wanted to show that.
We had a hit, but yeah, just by the skin of the lips there, I say. They come up and they just kind of nip at it and then they get that sharp hook. That's where sharp hooks. I'm a fanatic for it. John knows I got a hook file in my pocket.
Yep.
That those sharp hooks will dig into that flesh really easily. So,
And that's a
That's
gorgeous fish.
blue-green dolphin.
And it's got kind of, if you look in the light, and I'll have Brett show it, and I'll turn it a little, it just really has a lot of UV tape reflection on it. And boy, I'll tell you what, those fish are wanting it. We're starting to figure them out. Looks like the fish might have slid off the edge just a little bit. And we're trying to locate him again. Fortunately, the one boat that was here left. So that gives us the opportunity to really attack this ledge. When you're out here, you know, out of St. Ignace, you're looking for ledges and edges. You're looking for deep drop-offs, and then you fish tops of the roll. Like right now, we're at about a 40-foot edge, and out deeper, it's 50, 60 pretty quickly. And we're thinking some of these fish may have slid right off into that 50 and 60. So it's fighting kind of down like a big laker, but at the same time, I feel no head shakes, but they've been fighting that way today.
Every day is different.
Really lethargic. Pull on my drag and tell me what you think.
You're good.
Okay.
Just got to keep steady pressure on him. I see him now.
I see him. It's a nice fish.
Yep.
It's a real nice fish, but I got my rod tipped down. I'm letting him have a little bit of line rather than pull back. Steve taught me something today. I've never done that in my life, but it worked there, and let's hope it continues to work. And that is, when a lake trout starts thrashing and writhing at the top, don't be afraid to grabbing your drag your rod and just peeling out a couple of pulls of line, just to release that pressure so that they feel like that they've succeeded. Boy, they are aggressive this time of year, aren't they, Stevie?
Yeah, they don't give up because it's 40-degree surface water, so they'll just keep tugging right to the boat. Another one on
another nice
Gold
one.
Orange Icicle.
What's the name of that one, Steve?
Golden Orange Icicle. That was a pretty good one all of this year so far. Now the middle one.
Now the middle one's on.
I think he hit that first one closest to the boat because it is closer to the boat.
Yeah, it is.
The second one, he's a little further back because it's that much farther out. He probably hit one and then saw the other one and grabbed it.
Whatever it was.
Or there was multiple. Like
or there was multiple fish and they get competitive, you know. You get a couple of spoons fluttering in the same general proximity, and it's going to trigger that instinctive reaction of once one fish starts to go for it.
A little bit of jealousy.
Oh yeah, the buddy says, you know what, you ain't beating me to that.
Yeah.
We're happy with that. We don't want him to beat him to our Dreamweaver Super Slims.
They're definitely in schools. We looked over and saw 4 of them swimming on the bottom, all in one little school.
Yep.
Water's so clear you can see the bottom 50 foot.
Yeah, we did. We saw the bottom in 50 feet of water. I mean, admittedly, it's mirror flat today, but I mean, it's very, 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 very easy to see today.
Definitely one of the perks of coming early season. Water is ultra clear because it doesn't have time to have algae out here. And you can see this clear water. You can just look right down and see the bottom up to 70 feet of water.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen the bottom in 50 feet until today. That fish went bonkers when he first got hooked, but now it's there's another fish. Double's on. All right, Richard, look where we are in 50 foot of water right outside. We tried our best with that one. Oh, it was an ear. There's a perfect example of that bait we're using.
He's just twisting it all up. Now he's whooped after that struggle, which is good because he's got my other copper.
Yeah, exactly.
That can be copper does not like to be tangled, so.
Show that one off. What spoon was that?
The blue-green dolphin.
That blue-green has caught some nice fish today. I love the Straits area. Tell you what, whether you're here in May or whether you come in June or July or August, this is the type of fishing you can expect. Cold, clean water fish that are gonna taste great on the grill.
Talk and you shall receive. Inside board.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve said it. Right now the downriggers and the diver rods, what did you say? They're just for show.
Just for show.
Because it's these board rods. Guys,
125s are on fire.
Talk about that just for a second, about putting everything in and then letting the fish talk, because there are some days where you can't catch anything except for on a diver. Right, Steve?
Right. Every day
is
all
so
these
different.
have a different presentation. You know, your downriggers, your divers, and the coppers are all presenting them baits slightly different, whether it's a different frequency of the diver pulling on there, it creates turbulence. Sometimes they like that aggressiveness, but other days it's real subtle, and coppers are the most subtle presentation we have out right now. They're way out to the side and they're way back. So whatever it is, those things seem to always produce. But today it's all on the 125s. So we got all these set. We obviously aren't changing much up because these could turn on, and you let the fish talk to you, and whatever's working you leave them out. But when you're fishing Lake Huron, you want to still leave that high one. We're just talking about deleting that high one and putting another low one. But if you're after an Atlantic salmon, that's probably your best chance, is a slider on a rigger or a high copper. So we're just going to leave them soak and continue to peck away at fish the way we're doing it.
Exactly, and I think one of the things that people make the mistake of is going all in on something halfway through the day because that's what's working, and you just don't know, like Steve said, if at 3 o'clock all of a sudden your divers and riggers will start taking off, and if you yank them, you'll never know that, right, Steve?
Yeah, you don't want to load up on all coppers, you know, or just one length of copper, because the fish could rise up or they could sink or whatever. If they change, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket, that's for sure. Especially when you're targeting mixed bag fish, because they're all at different depths. Your steelhead, your salmon, your lake trout, a lot of them fish are running at different depths. So I like running from top to bottom, spread your lines throughout the water column from just underneath the surface to just off the bottom, and having some lures in every depth. And that gin clear water is exactly why you don't need to bounce bottom out here. If you get that lure within 20 feet over their head, they're coming up to grab it. A lot of people think that you have to be right down in the fish or right on bottom, and you don't need to be out here in these clear waters. We can see fish laying on the bottom in 60 feet of water. Now they can see the spoon 20 feet above their head.
Yeah, flashing.
They're gonna come
like
up and
crazy.
grab it. So
For sure. Which side are you?
I'm gonna come right underneath you there. Just gonna try and get this one out while you're playing around with that fish. Well, if the 125s are bread and butter today, I want to get them back in the water as soon as possible. So while John's fighting that fish, we'll just go ahead and put this one out. And luckily, luck be have it, we won't have them cross.
I'm gonna bring him.
Well, we got another one.
We got another
Doubled up.
fish.
We're doubled up.
Tripled up. This one's part of the last double. Okay, now I'm gonna, if I can get him coming to you, you're gonna get one look at him, Steve. Coming.
Okay, I squeeze in here, Brett, just a hair. Just walk back for me. Just keep walking back.
Wow.
He's bleeding.
We'll have to keep him in.
Yeah, he's.
This is Richard's last two.
All right. That one swallowed her deep.
Yep. We were going slow, remember? You explained that. And when it surged off the bottom, he probably ran right up on it.
And just swallowed it.
Richard has the con. Yeah, I've reeled in all the fish I'm reeling in today. Richard is reeling the rest of them in. Beautiful.
The action has been steady all day here off of St. Ignace as John shares the wealth by handing off rod duties to Richard. It gives him a chance to highlight the strategy we're employing to find and to stay on top of these fish.
So guys, we got another fish on. Well, Richard and Steve wrangle that board in. You can see what we're doing here. You've got a can right there. I don't know if you can zoom in and see. I'll zoom in and show you. real shallow knob hump right there, and all we're doing is working the areas around that hump. What happens is these Lakers will sit out here waiting to feed, and when they feed, they slide up on top of that hump, feed, and then they slide back off. We've got a slow incline here as we're coming up the contour lines towards that hump, which is out in front of us, maybe a half a mile. And so I'm just gonna bump around in this 60 foot of water because we're midday. As you can see, it's 2:34 right here. And you know, we're midday, so we're not finding the fish on the top of that hump. We're finding these fish on the staging areas. So learning how to use your graph and put together an understanding and a plan for a course of action throughout the day, that puts a lot more fish like Richard's got on in the boat.
That's our claim to fame though, huh?
Yeah.
Floaters.
Floaters and
Another fish, doubled
oh,
up.
Yeah, nice one, doubled up.
Doubled up in 125s.
I said Richard's got to catch them all, so
Kinda,
I'm dragging it.
it's kind of been the name of the game today. 125s all day. Got one on a 50, but coppers are shining bright.
Just a nice fit. Oh,
Look at that, he
you're
does
right.
have another line.
He does have another one.
Another one that dove down and got it, but what a chunky fish.
What's the name of that?
I think that's blue-green spotted dolphin. Super slim. Fish approved.
Yeah.
It's probably been the second best bait today. Look at that chunky fish.
Beautiful. Oh, there he's on. You dropped it back at him and now he took it. He dropped the board, literally dropped the board back because he got off, and there's a perfect example of the drop back. Richard just dropped that board back because the fish came off, and when it went to surge forward, another one came up and slammed it. Now he's hooked up again. Hey guys, well, Richard's cranking this fish in. You know, if you come to the St. Ignace region, you can expect fantastic fishing from late April all the way through to the end of October, basically. The fishery basically consists of a big lake trout population here in the Greater Straits area, and you can fish those fish not only right in front of St. Ignace proper, meaning out in front of the gas tanks or in front of the Coast Guard stations, two great places, but also around Mackinac Island, which is an awesome scenic fishing trip. You can also fish around North Round Island, Bois Blanc, or we refer to it as Boblo Island. All of those are just a short boat ride away. And in the fall, in the month of September and in early October, all the kings that are milling around Northern Huron run up to St. Martin's Bay, and we've had some awesome times up there as well. So you really got to pay attention to what's happening around the state of Michigan. Don't get caught in the rut of going to the same place every time. You see here today, we're May 10 or so, something like that. We are having a day today, catching tons of fish here in the greater St. Ignace region. Check it out. There's charter captains available. I know North Shore charters and Eastern UP charters are both staging and have a boat docked right in the St. Ignace port. So it's a great time. If you're up here for a family excursion, give one of those two guys a call. Take that family out on the water for a half a day and enjoy St. Ignace, Michigan. Haha, that's an awesome boat limit out of St. Ignace, Stevie.
Pretty typical. Super slims though. The gobies, now look at, you're talking about barely hooked. Look at that fish, just by the skin of that lip right there.
Yeah, see, and if Richard
Sharp
would have
hooks.
horsed him at all, it'd come on.
Nice and easy with the fish and sharp hooks, and you'll end up with these marginally hooked fish in the boat.
Well, there's a perfect example right there of a beautiful St. Ignace lake trout. Hey, thanks for joining us today on Fisherman's Digest. Thanks so much to Steve Hubert, chumbucketcharters.net. If you want a great Straits area from basically Alpena to the bridge, call Stevie on the phone. We'll see you again next week here on Fisherman's Digest.